So before you get started on this whole adventure, there's a couple of things you're going to need that I think are going to make it easier for you because this is the first time, potentially the first time anyway, that a lot of you are going to be doing anything that's programming related. It's going to feel, in the very, very beginning, it's going to feel like it's a lot to grab a hold of. And I totally understand that. So I think the more barriers to entry that we remove, the easier it is that we make everything for you to be able to do, the more you're going to get out of the whole experience. And one of the first things I think you should have is some headphones. These are COS headphones. They are the ones I use generally to do all of my video editing on everything, and they are super cheap. I think these were $14. So you really don't need anything special. If you have just a pair of AirPods hanging around, if you have any pair of Bluetooth or otherwise headphones, those are going to be fine. I do what I can not to mumble, or I do what I can to enunciate well. But I know I've seen my videos. I don't always succeed in that. So headphones really do go a long way to making it easier to hear, which makes it easier to follow along with everything. Number two, and there is going to be a subsequent video on this, but I just want you to get this settled before you start with the rest of the experience, is to have an account with Replit, REPL.IT. It is what we will be using as our developers environment. That's the tools that we as a developer would use to make our lives easier in doing all of these things that we need to develop really good looking websites, which is what you're going to do. You're going to develop a really good looking website. So in order to make that as seamless as possible, rather than have us go through the difficulty, rather than have you go through the difficulty of figuring out, what system you have, and if we have a developer's environment that's going to work for you. So for all of those of you who are joining us that have a Chromebook, you're going to be in trouble unless we use an online developer's environment. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So it's Replit, REPL.IT. And yes, that is a real website. If sign up with your student.rockvalleycollege.edu address and then never worry about it ever again. It is a really fantastic platform. We're not the only schools. We're not the only businesses that use it. It is great. So that is number two. Go grab or go set up rather an account with Replit. The next thing, I actually am using my phone here to do the video taking, so I can't point to my phone, but I know you know what a phone looks like. Have a phone, have a tablet, have another monitor. If you can, it's going to make things a little bit easier. Part of what we'll be doing, again, by using videos like this, or a video where all of me will be down here in the corner and very small, and the rest of everything that you see is going to be the code that you're going to be walking along with. I have found it is just so much easier if you can have a second screen, one with your video and one with the Replit window that you'll be typing along with. And look, I get it. Not everybody has. I have two monitors here. That is a luxury. It took me a lot of my career to be able to afford one of those. So you don't need a second screen in order to make this work. As a matter of fact, a phone just like this one is fine. You can prop it up here on your desk. You can follow along. You'll be able to hear the audio. You'll be able to see, at least in general, where it is that we're pointing. And then you'll be able to follow along with your Replit window over there. The other thing you can do is, cascade your windows left to right. That works pretty well. Sometimes I've just found you reduce the amount of BS if you have two devices or two windows or two monitors open for everything. So that's number three. One, headphones. Two, a Replit account. Three, another device that you can follow along with. Everything here is just in a YouTube playlist, so it just goes 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and you'll be able to follow along that way. Really, that's all we're going to need. There's no need for additional hardware, there's no need for additional software. That's part of the great, overall experience of web design is everything is really, really small, so we don't need a lot to be able to make things that look really, really great.